gentlemen, to another episode of the Three Wise Guys podcast. It's good to be back. I missed you guys.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the commission blocked the trade. There was some scandal accusations of doping. Here we are.
Who are we supposed to get?
I don't know. I think it was just a move for cap space.
Oh yeah, it was shedding salary cap. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of attending a Coldplay concert, and that just shattered my public image. Just like attending that thing.
Yeah, you got cut. How does it feel to get cut and then make it back to the team?
Pretty invincible. What's
I don't know. I don't know if that's the right feeling.
I mean, you who else have you seen they tried to cut him and he came back like in any other sport? Like
Cam Newton, Carmelo Anthony, like Russell Westbrook.
I mess with these guys.
No, like all these dudes, like they were ended their career, and now once you get cut, you become a journeyman. It's your team gets you back in because they feel sorry, but guess what? You last 3 weeks, and now they ship you off to buttfuck nowhere, Jacksonville, Florida.
You have to be desired by other teams to be able to be a journeyman.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
I came right back to where I started.
Yeah, no. So I don't think I didn't realize we were actually playing in a professional sport league. But
what do you mean? It's fucking podcasting.
We were gonna trade Arya for who?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
That's where my value gets you by there. You understand that, right?
Do I'm thinking are there any famous or decently big Canadian podcasters?
Yeah, probably. Probably some of
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah,
okay. Jordan. Shout out Jordan Peterson.
I just know that he makes headlines.
No, he's I listen to his podcast from time to time. If there's a guest,
there's probably some what's it called? One of those that follow true crime and stuff.
One of those. I'm just saying, if we don't know them, then how popular are they? Not that. Where's the? I don't think where's the.
Oh, I know George Stroumboulopoulos. He used to host broadcast television.
Oh yeah, Jay Shetty.
Oh yeah, Jay Shetty is
very
Canadian,
popular, but he's apparently UK born.
He's Canada based.
Dax Shepard is really big.
Okay, I've heard of Dax Shepard.
As you know, these guys they're popular for their own brand. They're not known as Canadians.
That's the thing. I guess
I like how they put Dax Shepard. U.S. based, but Canadian guests often appear. It's not even Canadian.
No, it's not.
Oh wow, that's not even. You know what though? I think when you think about it, I don't feel many countries, many people from other countries, that strongly tie their brand to their country besides America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The nationalism is just really high.
Yeah, in most cases, celebrities and brands are this is me, this is what my brand's about. But in America, it's this is me, this is my brand, and I'm American. Yeah. You know what I mean? Americans. Or and I'm a New Yorker, or and I'm from LA, or something like that. So I don't know. I feel it's just the US is the only country.
Yeah.
I feel
there's Nardwuar.
Nardwuar is probably one of the.
Nardwuar's not a podcaster though. Oh, he's like a TV personality, interviewer. But I like him. That's a good one.
Yeah, I was trying to pull my head because I was just thinking in the election, and we'll get back to our thing. Tangent about to be over. When I said Trudeau. Wow,
Carney,
Carney, Carney, and
mixing up your liberals, not getting that enough
Carney
already.
And Polyev, when they went on a podcast run. But they were going on American podcasts, so I'm now starting to be that's kind of sad, but
even Canadians don't listen to Canadian podcasts.
Right. Well,
that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, we're the Canadian podcast you should listen to, whichever my camera.
It's like the fucking government trying to mandate the Canadian pension fund to try and buy more Canadian stocks.
Yeah, did you see that?
And it's straight up okay, well,
they're gonna start losing money.
Are you trying to make the pension fund lose money for Canadians? So we'll see what happens. But all right. I know you got some headlines.
Yeah, we got pseudo headlines there, but let's just get into a few big things. So I'm sure you guys have been in the loop about the whole Astronomers CEO CPO nonsense.
Yeah.
For anyone who has not been paying attention after that whole Coldplay rundown, Astronomer actually released a PR video. It's a 1 minute clip of Gwyneth Paltrow, who is basically doing a corporate style ad in which they're answering FAQs, or they pose that they're answering FAQs, and instead of fully answering the question, they just talk about a product feature or they talk about a product roadmap. It's actually really funny. We'll link it. Everybody can listen to it. I thought it was absolutely genius. I know Luke's the marketer. He might have a couple more thoughts on that, but the fact that it was Gwyneth Paltrow alone, I think no matter what questions they had her answer, I think that would have been 10 out of 10.
It was great. Like, you know, it's like obviously for a fact, like fucking universities and marketing agencies are doing like a case study on this whole thing, but like really it's simplicity, right? Like it's less than a minute long. And when you think about it, like the PR team's number one job after this whole thing is like, how do you address the scandal that happened, but focus on the important stuff, which is Astronomer is the best place to deploy Apache Airflow. Right? Like
it's in my head. It's in my head. That line is in my head.
But like, you know what I mean? That is like, they need to shift the massive PR away from the CEO to that. And they accomplished both because they were able to address it by humorously playing off of like them basically asking the questions, but Gwen talking about like the overall product and then promoting like a conference that's happening in September. So like geniusly well done, like super simple, super easy to understand, and like genuine like a A+ play. Like I think this is probably like the campaign of the year.
Campaign of the year.
I was gonna say, I think what was like, I guess, good on my part, because like, I mean, I didn't really care. Like, first off, do I care about Chris Martin? Do I know him as well? No. Do I know his music? Absolutely yes. Did I know Gwyneth Paltrow was his ex, or that they were married? Either, yeah. No, but at least in the post I saw, they were like, Gwyneth Paltrow, Coldplay lead singer Chris Martin's ex. So I feel like just that little placement like helped bring the whole story together, because I feel like no one talked about it, but everyone saw that and they instantly, oh, this is what they were trying to do. But like, I don't know that many people knew Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, but like
the thing is, a lot of people actually know.
Yeah, that was the subtle thing.
That's
like,
a lot of people know.
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, I guess like they wanted people like us, me and you, who didn't know, to basically, they knew that within our circles, when people were talking about this response, someone would know, and that would basically double down on the concept, because I didn't know that, and that alone, I was like, oh, this is great. And I was like, oh, maybe I would have picked a different spokesperson, which I was talking to you about. And you were like, no, because Gwen is his ex-wife. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, like totally, never mind. This is the best person they could have picked.
And
straight up.
Their breakup was very public. They're both celebrities, you know what I mean? Really? So it was like, this is like a whole like lore that anybody who knows like Coldplay and is a fan of Coldplay would know. They would know this. They would know this.
Yeah.
Beautiful though. Beautiful.
Wonderfully done. Wonderfully done.
Two quick questions before, or one question.
Go for it.
If you all worked at Astronomer, would you care?
No.
Would you?
Oh, that like my CEO is like, would I not want to work for the company because my CEO?
Would you care? Yeah.
No.
Okay. Davin, would you?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
I think the whole thing was blown really out of proportion. This is like a side opinion that I have. We don't have to like go into this too deep, but I don't see why it's relevant whether this CEO cheats or not towards like his duties to the company. I just don't see it relevant. I just think whatever you want about cheating, it's like a perfectly like normal part of life. Like you see it all around you.
Yeah. I guess
it's not enough. That's not what I meant. I meant it's not enough to like tear someone's entire life down as a result of it. Like their professional life is separate than their personal life. That's it.
I was gonna say, I only asked because I was just gonna be like, I feel like the blowback externally was probably way more than the blowback within the strike. I don't know, right?
Like, you know.
But yeah, like I was just thinking, I was like, if I worked at that, like, you know, it would be funny. Like it'd be gossip for like workplace gossip for like a week.
Dude, by the way, I bet you not a single one of the customers that needed their product canceled. Like, because it's like the reality is this is a super niche specific product. Like, you know what I mean? It's a data optimizer, data storage, etc. And it's like, straight up, like my opinion about this whole thing was, one approach, could they just do nothing? Because I don't think this harms their like actual core customer base. It'd be different if they were like a direct to consumer brand, which they're not. You know what I mean? This is a company that probably eats off of like less than 10,000 companies in the entire world. like they need their entire customer base might be like 10 to 100,000 companies. You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't matter. And also like, I think if, you know, the blowback, like I won't speak to that because I'm like, you know what, like CEO's like a public facing figure. People are allowed to think what they want. But like, I think like, does it impede his ability? No. Like, did the board make the right choice in making him step down? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the PR, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I guess it's like, who knows? In that world, maybe they're like, they don't want this guy to go into a boardroom and have someone else like have that leverage on him or something like that.
The problem
like,
isn't even the fact that he cheated. The problem is how public it became.
Yeah, I think
that's the problem. That's why the whole thing is just like, all right, whatever. If the running theory right now is if they didn't duck and like make such a big deal out of it, they probably no one would have like dug into it a little. It
was kind of his fault, like in a way, you know, like he was the one who reacted extremely. So quick, She did not even react extremely, you know. He could have played it off.
They could have played it off. They could have played it.
Anyways, shout out to you, buddy.
Shout out Astronomer. You guys did a wonderful job. I looked into it to see if there was a PR firm that they hired. It's either private or all the credit is being given to their CMO.
No, I think that was like something that happens this fast.
Yeah,
is probably an internal play, but like they probably had to work. Okay. They probably had to work with someone to hire Gwen, but just how fast they turned that around, I feel like was.
I forget the CMO's name, but he's Asian.
Oh yes, I saw that. I saw
how excited he got. He's just lit up.
He's not my type of Asian.
He's not loose liver. All right. So next up on the headlines, while we still have you guys, the Canadian Open is happening this week, but several marquee names are dropping out, and they are not. They are not playing. So Alcaraz, Djokovic, Sinner, all of them pulled out. They said that they wanted to preserve themselves or recover their muscles for the U.S. Open happening. I don't know what in a couple weeks or a few weeks.
There's a really good Canadian player right now in men's single. I forgot his name. He's a black dude. He's from I should know this, but like when I was watching Grand Slam, I was following him a little bit. Might be good for him, you know.
Like Francis Tiafoe. Tiafoe is not Canadian, but that's like the one black guy that I remember in Grand Slam.
No, what sport are we talking about?
There's tennis. Yeah, sorry. Good job, Davin. Tennis. For anyone who doesn't know what the opens are.
There's a different guy. He's not. He's lanky. The guy you're talking about is more like
he's not lanky. Yeah.
I forgot his name. Sorry, but
anyways, we won't dwell on this too much. The big question mark here is, are people just not taking Canadian sports seriously? Quick question for you guys, just quick, right off the top answer: should players show up for fans or save themselves for majors?
Depends on the player.
Yeah, like I mean, it depends. Like I'm going to the National Bank Open, and like I just want to go see tennis. Like how often do I get to, experience world class tennis in Toronto? It's like once a year. So like in that, it's cool. Obviously, it would have been great to see Yannick Sinner or but if they got Taylor Fritz or I think you're talking Felix Auger Alicia.
Yes, I am.
If they got him, as long as we got the Canadians, or Bianca, let Bianca be playing. I'm good.
Andrisu?
Yeah. So it's
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're an athlete and you genuinely have a strong shot at the major, the U.S. Open's a major, right?
Yeah, U.S. Open is a Grand Slam. It's more than a major.
Not a major. Yeah.
It's bigger than that.
If you have a chance of winning a Grand Slam and saving yourself actually well, I actually think that's totally reasonable, right? Because it's an athlete, whether or not you realize it or not, your career is based off your highest accreditations. Once your career is done, no one is going to care about the nuances. Only the fans in your era realistically are going to really care about the nuances. So if there is legitimacy behind it, I think, yeah, absolutely. But athletes will always kind of have a different excuse, even if, you know what I mean? A better excuse to say to the media than
And to add to that before you go, I don't know tennis that well, so I might be talking shit, but from what I understand, it's a tour. And there's many events on a tour.
Yep.
And I don't know that there's any player that plays every single event on the tour. So Usually the National Bank Open in Canada might be like an event most people make, but yeah, maybe this year it was just one of the events that they skipped. Like,
you think it kind of gets like maybe the brand end of the stick just because it happens right before the U.S. Open? Everyone's focused on the U.S. Open. Think it's just like a poor timing kind of thing?
I always thought the Canadian Open was like a pretty significant event. It's not like a major or anything, but like I was. Were you there in Montreal with me when the Montreal like event was happening? There was like a tennis event in Montreal.
I wasn't with you. But can we check like how major the
Canadian one is? Yeah,
the National Bank Open in Canada is.
I mean, I did think it was pretty significant, but
like my thing is like. So, like, Indian Wells, right? That's the California one. Like, why is Indian Wells so big? Fucking
for the money.
Okay, there we go. All right, fix it, Canada. There you go.
Well, you should check the tickets to get into Indian Wells and check the National Bank tickets and see if you still have that energy.
The prize money for the National Bank Open is between $5.5 to $7 million combined, and the prize money for the U.S. Open is $50 million total purse.
And Indian Wells, to my understanding, is as big as the Grand Slams in terms of the prize money.
I think Indian Wells is even bigger than
or even bigger because sometimes athletes will like make that their event of the year. Well, do you think like part of it is due to the Canada-US beef? Because I'm
I don't think so.
I don't think these guys care. But like,
if anything, these Europeans are like siding with Canada.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like from an emotional standpoint.
Fair enough.
Right. All right, let's move on. The last thing I want to talk about here is the Weeknd. Abel. Mr. Scarborough, right here we have Mr.
What did
Scarborough.
you call him? Abel?
His name for his first name is Abel.
It's not Abel.
I was about to say I thought it was Abel.
I don't know.
I swear it's Abel.
Okay, then it's Abel.
Arya is not a Christian. That's why.
I am more like because when you said that, I was like, you know what? Usually, you know these niche things, but I've never heard someone say that.
I've never actually called the Weeknd by his gubby.
Okay,
what? I swear I thought he meant like a literal belt. I was like, what?
Yeah,
like,
I thought
did
like
give us a belt?
Abel, Mr. Scarborough, all the rest stands.
Yeah.
Is he from Scarborough? I thought he was from Parkdale. What is going on here? Everything I knew about
I think
the
like
Weeknd.
originally Scarborough, but like Parkdale is in between. Isn't it like in between Scarborough and downtown?
No, Parkdale's downtown.
Parkdale is like,
It was like down the road. Yeah.
He was homeless, so when he was homeless, he probably like was Parkdale.
Okay. Davin asked ChatGPT, is Parkdale Scarborough? No.
Parkdale is not in Scarborough.
Parkdale's like near Trinity Bellwoods, right? Ish?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair. Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah,
like
fair.
super ish. But
It's closer than Scarborough. I'll tell you that.
It's close to Exhibition. I'll tell you.
Jesus,
Yeah. It's close to Exhibition.
Close to Exhibition.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
Anyways, he had his hometown show this week. I think it was July 26th.
Why are they calling it his hometown show? I swear he's had many concerts in Rogers Center.
Yeah, you can have they're all hometown shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like he had a hometown.
When
he's
you
on a
play
tour right now, and this is the stop of the tour where he's doing his hometown.
Oh, really? The Weeknd's on tour.
Yeah. Anyways, he was handed the key to the city, and he was given a day. July 26th, I guess that weekend is now called the Weeknd weekend.
Just to clarify, I thought it was a weekend, but like
I think it's a day. I think it's a day.
Okay.
I think
But it has to
was
be a
announced
Friday,
on,
though.
Yeah, it was announced on July 26th. That was the article that I read. It was like July 26th, hereby the weekend or whatever, I guess. I'm not sure. Anyways, so that happened. Declared July 26th to 27th as the weekend.
So
okay, so it is the whole weekend.
Seems like a weekend, yeah.
Yeah. Celebrating his soul town, hometown concerts, and overall impact on Toronto's cultural identity. So Olivia Chow gave him a key to the city.
Okay.
Drake got his key to the city in 2016. That was when he became the Raptors global ambassador. That was that same year. So it was all celebrated all in one. So the question is, right now, Drake's across the pond.
Does Drake have a national day? No, right?
No, he doesn't have a national day.
Does he?
Actually,
I'd like to think Drake has a national day.
It's not. This is not a national day, by the way. This is
Like
the city of Toronto.
That's
The city of Toronto has declared this. It's not. Yeah, see, not federally. Let's not do that here.
Oh, he has a day
June
in
10th was
Houston.
declared Drake Day in Houston.
Okay. Wait,
Oh,
so
he doesn't have one in
Yeah,
Canada.
first
He
of
doesn't
all,
have one in Canada.
Davin, can you look up what it means to have the keys to the city? Like, what does that actually
I
entail?
think it's just super
It's
symbolic.
just symbolic.
It's just
It's
symbolic.
like you're a great ambassador, a great ambassador of the city.
It's like an award for like
Yeah.
bringing pride to the city.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
symbolic
more
civic honor.
recognition. Okay, okay. First of all, like
It
when I
does
saw,
not open any doors, Luke.
See, it says right there, no
Thank
secret
you,
doors
thank you,
or free
Delapo.
parking.
Thank you, Delapo. I was gonna say, I saw this announced over the weekend. I saw this. I actually saw this on our mayor Olivia Chow's Instagram page.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I saw this announcement. And those who follow the podcast since the election, which I believe the municipal election was like more than a year ago now. It was more than a year ago.
It was earlier this year.
No, that was the
Provincial.
That was the provincial election, and then
we had municipal, provincial, and federal elections all
since-
within the
Yeah, it
past
was
12
all-
months.
municipal
Yeah.
one was the first one, and
Yeah, I
it was
remember that.
at
That
least
was-
a year and a half ago because I remember this was a big talking point with a bunch of my clients.
2022. Okay.
Yeah, so it was actually when we first probably moved downtown.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I remembered.
It seems so recent.
Seems so recent. Yeah,
no,
well, we had two elections
she's
recently.
been in charge for a while now.
There was also a by-election in 2023.
Yes, but that was for the federal election, right?
That was a
No, that
mayoral
was the one.
by-election.
Yeah, that was the one that she contested in.
Oh,
2023, because
okay.
the mayor resigned.
So that was the one. That was
Yeah,
the
that
one.
was the
Yeah,
one in
that I
2023.
that we voted in. So it was June. So it was last 2 years ago in the summer.
Yeah.
All this to say, at that time I wasn't like, not that I was like, oh, I don't like Olivia Chow. I just didn't know too much about Olivia
I
Chow.
remember. Yeah,
I did know though that a lot of her policies involved like tax rising and some of the stuff she's doing. Like for example, the recent bill she published for landlords and stuff. Like a lot of what she's doing, quote unquote, protects the base consumer or whatever. In reality, it kind of just makes business and commerce way harder. And like in my opinion, a lot of her policies are a little bit misguided. But all this to say, like we can talk about the real estate one actually off air, but like my conclusion there is over the past years, the only thing and my only impression of Mayor Olivia Chow is every once in a while you see her in a headline and you're just like, I don't know how I want to see my mayor in a headline, but this is not like the headline I want to see. Like I'll give you an example. One of them was
Luke's
Olivia.
just going
One of them
in
is
on
Olivia Chow at Caravana last year. You know, in full cultural garb.
She had the costume on and everything.
Full cultural garb,
like
with
ass out and everything.
ass out. You know,
Wait, can we
I
find
wanna
that?
see this.
Yeah,
I
but
am
let
not.
Luke- let
I
Luke
am
cook,
not
but, like,
kidding.
Pull it up.
I am not kidding. That was like,
Oh,
when I tell you. So
we did not need
I did
that.
not know this.
This was one of the ones I saw. Like
We do not need
She's-
that in the public.
she's just been like, every time I see her in the news, can I just say, it is never correlated with anything to do with fixing Toronto's roads, fixing Toronto's transit system, you know, cleaning up the homeless population. Any of this shit, like the only thing I see is her doing this shit, and this is another one of these examples. It's like Olivia Chow. I do not care about the Weeknd having a weekend in Toronto. You know what I mean? Like this is not like the type of thing I want to see when I see you.
Davin, please go back up to where Rob Ford was
I saw it in the-
dancing. Yeah, I want to go down a little bit. No, a little bit more. A little bit more. We'll put it up on the screen. No, one more. Yeah, keep going.
Wait,
keep
that
going.
one's good too.
No,
That
keep
one's good
going.
too.
Trust me, there's a better one. Right there.
Oh, jeez.
You see?
Okay.
You see?
This is what I want from my
Can I
man.
say?
He's not
okay.
dressed up in any
But can I
cultural
say,
garb.
look at this photo and then Davin, click that photo on the top left. Sorry, go back one. The top left. Okay, do you see how he looks very natural in the community here?
Yeah.
Like this looks like an actual interaction happening in Caravana,
No,
not
he
like
looks
this.
mad lusty. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like-
but
Well, like everybody's
that
lusty
is-
at
that is
Caravana.
what everybody
Everybody's
looks-
lusty at
You're right.
Caravana.
I didn't want to say that. But
It's a
you are
lustful
right.
event.
You are right.
You know
All
what,
this to say,
you're
like
right.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
like Olivia
That is
Chow's
normal.
photos look forced. Like they look like a PR event. You know what I mean? It looks like she got dressed up and there was a bunch of cameras following her and whatever. Rob looks like he's trying to go enjoy Caravana and he's pissed that like there's cameras around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a man for the community. All this to say, going back to the Weeknd thing.
By the way, I haven't watched this documentary. I gotta
so
go
good.
watch it.
I watched the whole thing. It's really good.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're talking about
it's
it.
really
I
good.
watch it. I gotta
This
watch
man said a man of the people.
Look at this.
See, a man
gonna
of the
save
people.
all of these. It's
A
gonna be on
man
the
of the
screen.
people. But sorry, my conclusion on Olivia Chow is just like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, why am I seeing you on the news for stuff like this? Okay. And then the other thing is like, really? Like, you're gonna give the Weeknd a day?
What do you mean? What's wrong with the Weeknd?
Most people don't even think like the Weeknd is from Toronto. Like
Okay.
if you talk about people outside of Canada and you ask them where the Weeknd is from, they'll probably say the States. People know Drake is from Toronto. Like Drake's identity is the Six, bro. Like one of his nicknames is Six God. And as much as you want to hate on Drake,
And I will.
Drake rides for this city, dude. I actually like, I'm not trying to go there, but like I think it's slightly disrespectful that like you're gonna give the Weeknd a day and not Drake a day. Like really? Like I don't know. I think and
We'll put this as a poll actually.
Yeah.
On our episode. You guys can vote. Should the Weeknd have gotten a day dedicated to him in Toronto before Drake did? Drake did get the key to the city first. Mind
He
you.
did, yeah,
He got
fair
the
enough, yeah.
Raptors glory. He got all of that, right? He got the championship, everything with them and all that. I can't believe we're saying this. Like Drake gets the championship with the Raptors, but he did.
he's a part of the organization.
He's a part of the organization.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. So you let us know. Should Drake have gone in first or should the Weeknd? The question I was gonna say is, well, you kind of answered it a little bit, but I was like, who's Toronto riding with right now? Is it Drake or the Weeknd? The reason being, well, D brought up some cool stuff
I
too.
ride with the Weeknd, by the way.
D rides with the Weeknd, but
you'd ride for a low pump over.
let me
Drake,
ask
bro.
you guys a question. You would.
Hey, you're going really far there.
You would. No, well, I don't think it's far enough.
What was Lil Pump's Pump It? No, what was his? Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang,
Yeah, Gucci Gang, yeah, Gucci Gang.
Pump it. Pump it.
I was like, Pump It is not right.
It's not right. So, Dolapo, let me ask you then, as the certified Drake hater, do you think Drake is leaving Canada for the UK? I want to preface this by saying what I heard him say at a show in the UK. He said unequivocally that the UK, London specifically, has the best lyricists. He said, I don't care, Americans can be upset with me, whatever it is, the best rap, nobody can out-rap these dudes from London. So that's part, I know why, because you asked this earlier, I know why you asked it, because that's been going around a lot as well. Drake's been doing a lot in the UK. He's been doing like sold out shows. He's been spending time there, talking about them. So has he given up on Canada?
Wait, I just want to say one thing before D goes in. So basically, Drake exhausted his Canadian ghostwriters and American ghostwriters, and he was like, "Let me try London. Like, let me try the UK and see if I can beat Kendrick."
He's been trying the UK for like a decade now, by the way.
Fair, yeah.
This isn't new him going to UK, you know what I mean? But like he's really, really putting on for the UK right now.
Yeah.
More than he ever has.
All right, so insert D Wild analogy / metaphor.
Great.
Do you know what this
amazing.
reminds me of?
Can this be about baking a pizza?
No, this is.
I want. Can we give you a creative element that you need to follow for this
Fuck
presentation?
that. Fuck, shut up. You guys are trying to be funny, but this is genius right here.
We're trying to be professional.
This reminds me of, that hot girl who has all the guys, fucking on her line, trying to get with her. And then she picks one guy up, right? You know what I mean? And now this guy thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's the man. He's got the girl. He's walking around like he's doing everything. And then they get in a fight. And dude forgets. She picked you up from obscurity. You're a nobody, okay? And he goes and he fucking starts talking shit. And she's like, who is this guy? Like, I'm just gonna go pick up another random guy from obscurity and make him my guy, the it guy. And Drake is like, yeah, like, America, Canada, you guys are thinking, oh, I'm like, you're everything to me. Like, oh, American rappers, oh, you guys feel like you're the only. He's like, fuck you guys. There's like a whole other continent and a whole other country that wants me as much, if not more than you guys. Fucking goes there, headlines the biggest festival for 3 days straight, brings out like the biggest artist they've ever had on their stage, and is like, yeah, I ride for the UK, and now I'm dropping songs with the UK's biggest artists who would love a Drake feature. Like the Drake feature is still the Drake feature. So I feel like in as much as Drake is Drake and my feelings for him are my feelings for him, I'm just like, good on you, man. He's a hot girl and he recognizes it. And
So hold on, question. In this analogy, is Drake the hot girl or is Toronto the hot girl?
No. Drake is the hot girl.
Drake is the hot
girl. How are you the only person that did not?
No. I thought that you were trying to diss him. I was like,
I wasn't trying to diss him.
To me, it felt like it was predicated on, Drake or Toronto making Drake and not Drake making Toronto. No. Drake definitely made Toronto.
Like in this, in this analogy, Toronto is the guy that was picked up from obscurity.
Exactly.
And thought he was the shit. And Drake is like, nigga, what are you talking?
In Delaple's analogy, this is a period where the guy or Canada is acting wild. So Drake, the hot girl, is like, cool, I'm gonna take a trip to Cabo. And you're gonna see me post all these stories on Miami. You're gonna see me on some yachts. You're gonna see me on yachts. You're gonna see me in bikini photos.
Beach Club.
Exactly. And then at the end of this,
be the baddest chick on IG for the next 3 months.
She's gonna come back and she's gonna be like, all right, are we acting right now? No, okay, cool. There permanently.
Drake re-upped his BBL and moved to London.
Facts. Didn't he drop like a shirtless pic the other day?
He did. No, Drake dropped a crazy. Did you see his finger workout? This guy straight up dropped a reel where he basically it looked like he was working out his finger. It's like a close up of his finger attached to like a carabiner, and he's just going like this.
Drake training his fingers.
I think I saw a meme of that, but what is that? That's for gambling.
Oh yeah,
it's because he's pressing the slots on
the steak workout
on DraftKings or steak, whatever it is.
Like I'm actually sick.
I've seen this.
I am sick of this man, bro. Like,
I mean, this is an ad. You know that, right?
Doesn't matter.
They paid the steak paid him to do this.
Yeah, no, but you can choose what you do in these ads. Like,
so you know what's funny
and agreed to it.
Oh, do the influencers choose like what to do, or do you guys choose
what to do?
It depends,
but like generally, you want the influencer to have some creative liberty.
Dude, he's Drake. He's not any influencer. Like he's gonna.
But at that level, sometimes it's kind of like, oh, here's what I'll do. You guys plan it for me within these criteria, and I'll do it kind of thing. But like I was gonna say it's funny because this dropped and like everyone in my company was making like there's this guy at my company has like a reputation for using his fingers, and then we all sent this. No, it was okay. That's exactly so wrong. It was okay.
What is going?
Say that better.
The context. The context here is
use his fingers for what?
Say it better.
Answer that question.
This man has there's no way I can say this to save it. It doesn't matter. It's already been said. But the moment this reel came out, everyone in the company was sending it to him, being like, SMH, Drake ripped off X so and so and didn't even tag him.
No.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. Like, I think Drake going to the UK. Yeah, you're right. Like, Drake has been going there like for major festivals. I think like for like the last 5 years. In fact, like I remember last summer we were even talking about like, oh, we can't see Drake in Toronto. Maybe the play is to like go to London and see him, kind of thing.
So let me ask you. Just question to follow up. Like, has Toronto already gotten what it needed from Drake?
Hell no.
What does that mean though?
Like, have you squeezed all the milk from the cow?
No.
Or at least squeezed enough for you to stand on your own legs?
No.
And like grow? No? You think Toronto still needs Drake?
Absolutely.
Drake is ingrained in like a lot of different, like, first of all, Drake is ingrained in the Raptors. Like the OVO
that's
brand.
not going to go away.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, for him to be here further, than he currently already is. That's the question. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Like, first off, like, Toronto is like a top 5 North American city, like probably top 10 world city. Like, you get what I mean? Toronto gets the respect of like a top 50 and not like 1 to 49 like city. Like, do you get what I mean? Like a bottom tier city. Like, I'm sure like some places respect it more than others, but most people, they don't really care. They don't think Montreal has more street cred than Toronto. If we're being like,
depending.
internationally,
Yeah.
I think so. And
In the U.S., Montreal has
Yeah.
more pull, but internationally, I would say Toronto definitely has more pull.
Fair enough. Like I won't say all of this to say like Drake has been like a global mascot, and like you can't pick your mascot, okay? Like beggars can't be choosers. So like he's not necessarily the most street cred. Like he's just super successful, and success is like is great anyway. So I feel like just Drake just being that mascot of like success, and like not only just like great success like out of Toronto, and then like putting Toronto on as well, and like you get what I mean, like just like everyone, like if you tell anyone you're from Toronto, the first thing they'll say to you is Drake, something like it's like this, it's the number one thing. And before, if you said, "Oh, I was from Toronto," they'd be like, Canada, right? Like, you get what I mean? It's like, oh, that place that I've heard of before.
Yeah.
And so all of that to say, like, yeah, Drake is like a huge mascot for the city, and like I don't know that can ever run its course. If anything, like when Drake is no longer as relevant, like I just hope like the city has been able to build like a mascot for itself.
You're right.
Do you get me? But like I know like everybody says, oh, multicultural diversity is Toronto. Like, all right.
That's for the people who live here.
Yeah. That's what people like I won't like, no disrespect, but like globally, I don't know that anyone is like, oh, this city, multicultural diversity, let's go there. Like, you know what I mean? So,
I think Rob Ford came awfully close to being our mascot.
I think not that many people know about Rob Ford. Rob Ford is a local legend.
If he was alive today, people would know him.
Yeah, for sure.
If he was alive
today, he there's a chance he'd be the prime minister.
He might actually
There's a chance he would have been the prime minister.
No, he might be the premier today instead of Doug. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, but yeah, Rob is a local legend.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, I was gonna like that's such a good point, and I was gonna say Drake is the first person that was probably the most recognized Canadian that was directly attached to Toronto. Before Drake, it was Justin Bieber, and then before Justin Bieber, when I was like growing up in China, I knew Canada as Terry Fox. Like that was the most recognizable Canadian, and Terry Fox was probably until like the Justin Bieber era, and then now it's like the Drake era. Again, globally, I don't think that many people know The Weeknd is from Toronto. And I know this because when I was in Singapore, a lot of the people that were there were going to Japan for The Weeknd concert. And I was like, oh, he's from Toronto. Like, he's from my whole town. And they were like, oh. They thought like he was from the States, like straight up. Like, and these were like people from like Europe and like, in Asia and etc. So I think like to your point, has Toronto gotten the most out of Drake? I don't think Toronto got a lot out of Drake. I think it was the opposite. I think Drake identified that he could make his brand bigger if he attached himself into the city, which is why the OVO brand is like so tied to like the city of Toronto. It's a part of like the Raptors. They have all these like brand partnerships, collabs, things like that. You know, the OVO training center, like a lot of these like core things. I think he made his brand about Toronto. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't think it was like the city of Toronto being like, let's take advantage of Drake. I think it was the opposite. And like, so how do we replace Drake? It would literally have to be another person with this star power wanting to attach the brand to Toronto, which I don't know. Like, there's actually a chance that never happens. You know what I mean?
Because like a lot of cities don't get like that second person.
Exactly.
But the question is like from the hype, like, do you think Toronto's in a position to like keep it going for themselves?
Toronto is only getting more and more relevant as time goes on.
I think so. Like, and that's with less involvement by Drake.
Yes, I would say.
I
like,
think over the years there's been slightly less involvement with Drake, but Toronto's rep has been going up.
Yeah, like for example, like the World Cup, some of that's going to be held in Toronto, so that's going to be a thing that at least internationally we're known for. Like, I don't know, it's just like the city of Toronto has to accomplish key things, right? Like if a major company comes out of Toronto, if another major star comes out of Toronto, right? Like
I was talking to someone and they were like, I was like, oh yeah, Shopify. We're trying to get like Shopify back in Canada because the Americans. Yeah. And they were like, Shopify is a Canadian company?
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? The biggest company out of Canada that touts it being Canadian. Like goddamn Americans are still like, Shopify is a Canadian.
But it's
company.
like, what's after Shopify? Like OpenText?
Oh, yeah. OpenText is big.
There's another big one actually. I forgot the name, but like there's a few. But all this to say, right? Like, it depends for Canadians.
Yeah.
So let me ask you then before we move on, because I want to address Drake's poignant point. Does the UK actually have the most lyrical rappers?
The fuck does
Okay,
that mean?
the UK versus
your opinion.
the UK versus like Canada, maybe. But like, what's
No,
that
no,
mean?
like Drake said in the world.
In the world? No.
That's what Drake said.
it's
I don't even know what that means. Like,
You don't know what that means.
it's
Why are you acting dumb?
provocative.
Yeah, it gets the people going.
Yeah, that's you fucking ruined it. You should just fucking let me land.
You landed. You're good. It landed.
Yeah, more of a crash landing. Right,
That was a good one. That was a good one.
But no, just like I think objectively that's not fucking true. And you know
See,
how
he
you
has
know,
an answer for
you know,
it.
I'll say this. You know how you know it's not true because generally a country that has less history, like lyricism specifically, is generally touted towards rap. Like let's like clarify that. Like not that there isn't lyricism in pop and other like mediums, but we talked about this at length. Other mediums have other things that make the medium enjoyable. The crux of rap is poetry, is rhythm plus poetry, right? So it's meaning plus rhythm when you really think about like the core of what rap is. Now today, like obviously with the instrumentals and stuff, it's a little bit different, but pop and country and indie, they've always relied on melody and tune and etc. The other fact of the matter is there's just straight up less words in pop songs than in rap songs. Like if you take in a general average, right? So generally when you're talking about lyricism, we're talking about rap, and especially we're talking about Drake in this context, right? The UK just has had a lesser history of rap than the US. By that merit alone, I think it's like you can pretty easily say the country that has the most history, the most buy-in to it is going to produce the most talent. It's the same as basketball. Like why does the US have the best basketball talent, but now it's starting to shift globally? Because other countries are catching on and they're starting to have more of a history of that, right?
Yeah, so what if the UK is in that position right now?
But
It's
it's
like
not
the
there
MVP, the MVP of the league was Canadian.
But like even to this date, the best basketball players are still from the US. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
as one country.
The past how many MVPs have been
I think
non-American?
like 5.
But you know, like average.
No, I get what,
I get what
You
you're
know what I
saying.
mean? I'm just saying
There's
like
more
due
of
to,
them. There's
due to
more of them.
history.
There's only one way to
Exactly.
solve this, guys. We need an Olympics.
For rap?
We need a rap Olympics. Rap Olympics.
Because think about it, like as I think what you're getting down to is like there are amazing lyricists all throughout the world.
Sure, yeah.
You know, and so until we can find a way to quantify that and narrow it down.
But you know,
What if they add like rapping to the Olympic Games like they did with breakdancing?
but how would you score that? Like
No,
battle rap?
you can score it. It's,
can
it's,
score it,
it's, it's
yeah.
witty bars. It's the same way I remember I
You have
was.
judges.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying
Judges.
be able to find the proper judges for it.
It's like you count the stink face when you hear the bars. Like
It's like how do
You
you
have facial recognition
Yeah.
of all the
how do you
audience.
judge who has the better dive? You know what I mean? Or who has the better synchronized swimming routine?
But that has like objective measures.
There's technique, yeah, and there's subjective measure, like how many like words used, syllables.
Sure, yeah. If you
yeah,
things
there
like
is.
that.
I was gonna double down because Davin brought a very good point. Because my real answer was gonna be like, I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask, and main reason being very very simple. Like rapping lyricism bars is about like double entendres, like you know, like witty, like how, sure it's a display of how witty you can be and how poetic you can be. And I feel like with British rap, like we just don't know their slangs. We don't like the bars. They will never hit us as well as like someone that understands the
That's a
slang.
really good point
because
as
like
well.
we just
Yeah.
don't know. And it's like we
That's a really
all
good point.
live in like we all understand the US. Like the US, they literally export their culture. So like US bars, yes, like more people will be able to like at least like New York be able to like you get catch on and all of that. But like so I'm just saying like with the UK, like I really just don't know. Like I don't know
Yeah,
that
you're
many.
right.
Like I remember some of my friends be like, oh, this rapper is so hard. I remember there was some dude back in like 2020, 2021, Digga D.
Yeah,
And,
I remember
yeah,
that.
and like, bro, like my friends would swear by Digga D, and like maybe there was like one song I liked, like you know what I mean? But
This dude is trash.
no, like you know, it just
But
wasn't for me.
Can
but,
I ask
like,
you this?
Yeah,
Isn't that a indirect measure of lyricism where if America's bars are the ones that most of the world can understand and enjoy, that in itself, because it's like you can't be like, oh, you don't get this because it's so complex and convoluted and like you have to understand the culture so deeply to be able to even digest these lyrics. Like does that actually inherently make the lyrics better than something that's easier to digest?
Well, like I'm not saying like it's easier to. Well, like the truth is easier to digest just means you understand the slangs better. And I'm just saying
it's like translating poetry from another language, right? Like does the fact that you have to translate it to understand it make it any less meaningful?
Yeah,
probably not, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's where I'm coming from. Like, you know, we're listening to Canto guys and like, and like I remember you were in one of the bars. You were trying to explain it to me. And like I forget which one of the bars it was, but like
is the one about like the head of the table and gambling? Yeah,
I think it was the head of the table and gambling, and you were explaining like he was barring people up in Mando / Canto, and you were amused, you were smiling. I'm just like bopping my head, and like you're like, no, dude, like this is what he's saying. That is
true.
Like and I'm just like. When you translate it, I'm like, ooh, that was pretty cool, but like obviously it doesn't hit the same. Like
you can appreciate it still. It just off the rip, it probably won't hit the same.
It won't hit the same. I
guess
that's
still
what
appreciate it the same.
But to that, like I think that's where like the rap Olympics, because now it would be like the judges, like you get what I mean. You have to be able to contextualize.
But it's like even then, right? Because it's like even like for example, like there's an argument that freestyling is not the pure element of rap, right? Okay. So it's like, how do you measure like the artists that are better at freestyling versus the ones that are more writers? How do you judge the beat? Because the beat and the beat per minute will, you know, give an advantage for certain things to certain artists and others. So it's like, you know what I mean? There's a lot there. And then, for example, when you think about like US, like I would probably distill like, at least in the East Coast, like the main style is boom bap, and then in the West Coast, there's like the West Coast like flow.
Funky sound.
There's the funky sound. So it's like even there, like those two rappers competing on each other's style, they're probably going to struggle more than their own style. You know what I mean? So even within the country, there's kind of like, and obviously, you know, like there's that Houston and like the Texas Austin style, which is like a lot more like kind of like. For a lack of better terms, kind of like hard hitting like bars instead of kind of like overarching storylines, I would say. But it's interesting, right? Like there's just
like
a lot.
All of this to say, what does it mean, Drake?
I think the nuance of everything would make for a fantastic amount of content.
Yeah,
like you could do like America's rap competition, then Canada's, and then accumulate worlds, and then different styles, freestyle competition, not freestyle competition.
Totally agree. Like I think that would be pretty. Just like
implement the FRA, the Federal Rap Association,
like something like that. There was this movie. Okay, now this is a tangent. This Chris Brown movie where like Chris Brown was in the movie and it was like a World Cup of dance, like a dance competition. I forget the name. It came out in like 2011s, 2015s, but yeah, I was just saying like it was a similar concept where it was like dance crews from all over the world, like all coming to somewhere in Europe to like compete, and it's like, you know, there's the Crumpers and there's the like I don't know whatever the dance.
Stomp the Yard?
No, it wasn't Stomp the Yard. It was more recent. Like it was in a movie. But yeah, like it's besides the point. We'll find the movie, we'll send it. But like just saying, like that would be like the similar concept where it's like rappers from everywhere, like, you know, kind of coming in, and then Battle of the Year. That's Battle of the Year. That was.
You know, there was a period.
Yeah, the world's biggest breakdancing competition.
So, period. There were so many dance battle movies.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was a thing.
There was like Step On Up. Yeah. That was like a 2 to 3 movie.
Step Up.
Like 2 to 3.
Step Up 3 or 4. Yeah,
yeah, like 2 to 3 movies. Crazy.
Everybody was in their Michael Jackson era.
Yeah, Save the Last Dance. And that was an.
I was gonna say this. Maybe we can try this as like kind of like a new thing. I would love to kind of like start a topic just to get some initial thoughts, because for me, like this is something I'll kind of like explain how this came to light. And then I would love for next week for us to kind of continue this topic, but with a little bit more research, because it sounds like you pulled up some articles. But so what triggered this was I was on Twitter, and I saw it classic Twitter. The original post had nothing to do with this topic, but in the caption, some guy in the comments, some guy said like, "Oh yeah," and like I'm Brazilian, and the Chinese government like does this with our tuna. Oh, I remember now. The video was just like a guy like asking someone like if they will cook for them. And they made like ceviche for them on the boat. And then they were like, yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, we're struggling with this because like our government sold fishing rights to China. And like for the past 5 years, they've been like overfishing in Brazil or something. Like it was a South American country.
Shout out China, man.
And then all the comments were like, oh, all the comments were like, oh, you know, like China does this in my country, China does this in my country. Blah, blah, blah.
That's why he's shouting them out. Like, Jesus Christ, just fucking robbing niggas blind out here.
Yeah. All this to say, right? Like, I need to stop doing this. This is one of the reasons probably my mental health is bad. But like, I get sucked into this fucking like comment thread. So I'm looking at each reply. I'm looking at the replies to the replies. I'm looking at like the person. The summary of this is like most of the people commenting this stuff actually live in the States. Okay. Like the ones that were like, oh, China also does this in like Honduras or whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter. And then I was like, and that's why like, and I was like, it's
you
interesting.
Laugh until they come to Nigeria.
Bro, they're already
there.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's a word we're gonna have to censor.
Yeah, can you mark this down for me, please?
All this to say, yeah, like everyone in the comments were like, blah, 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 China. And obviously, like, that's the easy finger to point, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm like, there has to be a conversation here about like consumption, because it's like, why is it that China's buying these rights? It's because there's demand. There's demand for fish. You know what I mean? People want to eat fish. Like the US has estimates for the amount of fish they want to import the next year for all their suppliers, et cetera, right? So I guess my point is, none of these people commenting, I don't think, are thinking twice about like, oh, it's 9 p.m. I'm just going to Uber Eats like $60 worth of chicken wings, and I'm going to eat like maybe a quarter of these, put the rest in the fridge.
Slow down on the people that spend $60 on chicken.
No, that's not my point. Not that point. Okay. But more so like you order $60 worth of chicken wings. It's 9 o'clock. You have like a craving. You eat like a quarter of it. You end up Tupperwaring the rest, and then like a week later you throw it out. Right.
Those people need to be jailed.
I'm saying
you can't be wasting.
I'm saying that's most people. At my company, we do ordered lunches. Every 2 weeks there has to be a massive clean out, where this is free food, by the way, that the company's offering as an incentive. Every 2 weeks, we got to go in and do a mass clean because the fridge smells like garbage because everyone like left their food in there. It's rotting, blah, blah, blah. Right. So I guess my point is, I'm looking at these comments, you know, being like blah, 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 China. Obviously I am a countryman. So obviously I'm like, oh, like, don't say that. But you know,
I don't even understand what that means. What does that mean? That's my question. You're a countryman?
I think like Chinese people call their
citizen.
Well, Chinese people call.
That's what he means.
Pick right now.
Choose your side.
But yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess that's the conversation I want to bring to the table, because it's like, people like that will not think about their individual responsibility in this overconsumption area. You know what I mean? Like, me included, right? Like, I might look at something like this and I still waste food, and I'm very wasteful with certain things. And I'm just like, I feel like that conversation is getting less and less loud, and it's a problem. Yeah. So that was the reason why I brought it up. I'm like, do you feel like consumers have any power in this? Like, what is the responsibility when it comes to consumers? Et cetera, et cetera.
I think consumers definitely have some level of power, right? Like, you choose what you have, you choose at what quantities. Like, you have choice and you have power over your choices, right? It's the choices in front of you. What are they? Is this actually as many choices as you could possibly have, or is this a narrowed down version of all of your choices? I think, because at the end of the day, I think the psychological aspect, the behavioral aspect of consumerism plays a huge role when it comes to overconsumption, and humans are at the behest of that generally for the most part. So you can manipulate that in any which way, and it's very hard to protect yourself from this level of manipulation. But that said, you know, not for nothing, humans do have a choice. I think there's a lot of autonomy in that, but it takes a lot of energy and effort to be aware of it. At least that's my initial thoughts on it. I don't know, I can let you kind of add initial thoughts too before we take the conversation further.
Yeah, consumers absolutely have a choice. In fact, I think probably the bigger role to play.
Wow, okay.
I guess just the way I think about things, like, you know, 50% of it, 100%, like
minimum 50% of everything that happens is your fault.
There we go. Okay, I'm glad. Look at my friends. Okay, they know how I try. And
this has been a theme on this podcast for like 3 years.
Yeah, but that's the truth. Like, I don't know. It's just like, again, it's about the lack of responsibility, the lack of accountability. It's always someone else's fault, and you know, like I do that for fun, especially specifically with Arya because he's like type A sometimes. I'm like, yeah, so it's all your fault that I'm not doing what I need to do, and the sad thing is, I think that's what a lot of people think, and so yes, I do think there's a big role we can play here, and just being a little bit more conscious of like, you know, what we're doing and putting in a little bit more effort would go a long way. I was gonna quote something really random. I just remember as a kid, I don't know if it was like some Christian stuff or something like that, where they were like, if humans were allowed all their heart's desires, we would all like, you know, the world, we would all kill each other, and like, you know, the world would end. And like, you know, it's like we're getting to that point now where
we have all of our heart's desires.
We are having
you
all
can
of
order
our...
on Amazon and it can arrive the next day.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like, yeah. Okay, look at that. C.S. Lewis, if all our wishes came true at once, we'd be ruined. You know, man is not capable of handling...
Check out that Bible verse.
Yeah.
Scroll up, Davin.
Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can do it? Well, all of this, what I'm just trying to say is like, if every human was granted every desire, like, you know, we would burn to the ground. Like, and I think we're closer to that now than we've ever been, where like Luke said, I was very guilty of this weekend. It was like maybe 12:30, 1 a.m. and I was like, you know what? I want wings.
That's why you felt so good.
Yeah, I was like, hey.
It's when you're sitting up in the middle of the night and you're like, I am a grown adult with my own credit card,
dude,
and
literally,
access to
I'm
my
like,
own
I have money.
Uber Eats account. I'm not behind on my bills. I have extra cash.
It's like,
I can get wings.
I can get wings. We're watching Happy Gilmore 2. I was falling asleep, and then I was like, fuck, you know what? I'm hungry. And then my girlfriend was like, I'm hungry too. I was like, fuck, let's do some wings. Anyways, all that to say, like, we're closer than ever to granting all of our heart desires, and I think we're finding more and more it's leading us you know, into chaos. And so yes, I do think we have a big responsibility, and yeah, it's at an individual level, like, you know, just being like Arya said, like, it just takes a little bit more effort. I'm lazy.
I think it takes a lot more effort.
Yeah, a lot more effort.
My question to you on all of this was, right, if you can recognize that if man was given all of their heart's desires, the world would burn, would you not agree then that that is an inherent behavioral trait in humans? It's unavoidable, would you say?
Yeah, what?
That if we were given all of our heart's desires, the world would burn, essentially.
Yeah.
So if that is true, wouldn't it be the responsibility of those making choices available to us to make sure that not all of our heart's desires are full?
I mean, the people that are making...
you either agree that that is unavoidable or you don't.
Yeah, like it is, like, at the end of the day, unavoidable, but like it's one of those things where you can prolong like us getting there. Like, we're all gonna die. Everything has an expiration date. I don't want to get too philosophical here, but like, I guess what I am trying to say is
Trying to figure out where to put blame.
Yeah, like the blame is there's enough to share. Like, I don't think, like, yeah, I guess that's where I'm coming from. Like, there's more than enough blame to share. But at the end of the day, what can we do? Well, all we can do is change our behavior. Like, you know, going to go call someone, like, yeah, sure, that makes you feel better and absolves you of responsibility, but like, you know, doesn't really do too much. I guess that's kind of where I'm coming from.
It seems like back then, at the early adoption of the internet, like, there was a lot more manipulation on the community or the consumer, and the consumers had to, like, in some way, like, hold with each other. And nowadays, it's like the manipulation's still the same, but more subtle.
Yeah, I think
Sorry. I was gonna add, manipulation tactics are relatively the same. Humans have access to more information. Therefore, the onus of responsibility to make choices has never been more on us individually than it has in the past. Before, we didn't have access to information. How could we know? You know what I mean? Like, you are literally just at the behest of whatever it is that you're reading, whatever it is that you're allowed to have access to. But now my iPad can access like 10 different sites at the same time. My ChatGPT can analyze all of those results and return it to me in 5 seconds. And now I'm like a CEO. I can make a decision because my minion brought me like a list of data.
Minion.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say
That
like,
is ChatGPT is my minion.
Okay.
but like even to like Davin's point though, right? Like, in terms of like the subtle, let's say like communication or whatever, it's like the idea that one, like it's an option to buy wings at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like that doesn't have to be like, oh, this is contributing to community like consumerism, but like it will. You know what I mean? It's like the fact that you know, like as a society now, like shopping is a common and leisure activity. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't always the case and especially that wasn't the case in like all the world. You know what I mean? Like there was like a time where like, you know, going and buying things was for like, okay, I'm going to go buy things because my house needs it. Like you're not like, oh, I'm going to go buy a piece of clothing because like I'm going to feel better about it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
even in the design aspect, like designers were considering more utilization than
longer
utility.
term. Yeah, like you know what I mean?
Leisure now.
Yeah,
like,
we
you know?
went from at one point being like, how can we build this to be the sturdiest and longest lasting thing possible, to now more so being like, how do we build this in a way so that it satisfies the immediate need and they'll be back for more? Is there a subscription service we can?
Cheaper.
Yeah.
We can produce more.
Yeah.
And people will buy it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, like for example, I was even learning like a little bit more about this, but like free returns with free shipping, right? That a lot of companies that moved around it. Like one of the leading theories is actually like that few years of like free return was for sales forecasting and trend. Like the whole reason they did that was because they were like both free shipping and free returns. The whole reason was they wanted to basically aggregate data on like what things people are buying, you know, spur of the moment and coming back and rebuying versus buying and then 2 weeks later returning, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like the companies subtly psyoping us have more data than ever. So I think like that is what I hope to kind of talk a little bit more about next time, sort of thing. Like we can look a little bit more into that and carry on the discussion.
Yeah, no, I think it's very important. But at the end, they do have more data and they are manipulating us. Like I don't think anyone's gonna argue about that. But they're only giving us what we want. Yeah.
But is that true?
Yeah.
It's like, for example, like, do you want a phone or do you just want to be able to like connect to people and talk to people? You see what I mean? Like, do you want, you know, 24/7?
They're one and the same.
Yeah. Do you want 24/7 like deliverability for food, or do you want like, you know, good food, healthy food consistently? You know what I mean? Like, what are the needs?
You
like,
want to connect with people, but you want to connect with people the easiest way for you. Or you want food, or you want to eat, but you want to.
But that's
the answer that American capitalism is giving you right now to your question is both. Is everything. Fair. That's the goal. That's kind of where we're at right now. It's like we're trying to get every piece of utility that we can.
But like, what's the alternative?
The alternative is what we had before, prior to the ability. Like, we can offer healthy options 24/7 now. There's a market for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was never a market for it. Now we like there's a shop that will do that. There's ghost kitchens now. You know what I mean? Like there's every day there's things being added to fulfill those needs. And one by one we're getting to the point of singularity.
Yeah, but I guess like my point there is that like, for example, even on the topic of eating, there's eating to satisfy the nutrient need. And then there's the act of procuring ingredients and cooking them that adds to a fulfillment or emotional need, right? And it's like, it's clear that the base needs for most of the world, not everywhere in the world, there's still lots of countries like where people are not as well off, even in Canada, but like for most people, those base necessity needs are met. So now it's like, what is this serving? Because it's like, we're not like really talking about here, like for example, like, oh, I'm struggling to find something to eat. You know what I mean? It's more so just like, is the stuff that we have, like, do we need 40 types of cereal? Do we need so many types of soy
At the end
milk?
of the day, it's a problem that's being solved. It's just the problem is becoming more and more, I don't know what the right word for this is. Maybe
it's like this. It's like there's a fire and we know that there's a fire and so we're going to go put it out. But the fire is spreading at a rate where even though we are trying to put it out, it's still spreading.
Yeah.
You know? And so like out of all of this, there will be more niches that pop out, and those niches will do well long term and sustain, or they will be a fad. And either way, I think like you were saying, it's unavoidable that consumerism will play a role in our lives. I think in terms of how we digest it is now we're more individualistic than before. It was more community based, where like, hey guys, like we should not be eating UPFs and we should be going towards more like Whole Foods and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like one of those examples in terms of the wider application is like when more things require consumerism for leisure, it creates a lot of inequality, right? Like think about kids, right? Like in the past, it's like you go to a field and you play. What happens now when like most of your friends have a gaming PC and they play Roblox? Well, a family that can't afford that can just, that kid cannot participate, right? And like, what if most kids are in that consumerism class? Then it's like, now there's a class that can do this, and then there's a class that can't do this. When we apply it to our lives, most of the social activities in our friend groups, in our social class, require money. It's going to festivals, going on trips, doing these things, right? If you don't have the money to do that and you want to live a different type of lifestyle, that's available. You can choose that, but you're actually also socially isolated because everyone else is not buying into that. Everyone else is buying into consumerism. Everyone else is buying to, you know, like at 2:00 going and getting a coffee that's $5 to $10. You can choose to not go get that coffee, right? And like that might be a lesser example. You can just walk with them to the cafe and not buy it. But if they're then going to Veld for a weekend and you choose not to do that, you're not participating. They're going to you know what I mean? Like, and I guess my point is, it's like that is the stuff that people choose as a leisure activity now. When was the last time like one of your friends was like, yo, let's go to a park and like play basketball?
It was probably me in this house.
It's probably you. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, and that's like the point I'm trying to illustrate, right? Like our activities are consumer based, our clothing is consumer based, a lot of things are consumer based. And that, like, I think that's the systematic thing that I want to do a bit more research on before we kind of talk more deep into it.
Well, we are at time, so we'll bring this to a close for now. We'll finish it off by shouting out some cool things happening in Toronto over the next few weeks. So first up, naturally, the Grand Parade, Carabana Weekend.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That's happening. So the Grand Parade is going to be this Saturday, August 2nd at 8 a.m. It's going to go all the way till 8 p.m. The full like 12-hour day.
Booty.
Exactly. Maybe you'll see Mayor Olivia Chow there wearing her costume. So show up.
We definitely will.
Yeah, there's tickets to multiple events going on. We'll link it in the description, so go check that out. Excuse me. After that, Danforth Comedy Fest is happening August 8th to 9th. It's really just like 2 shows happening at the comedy club. I'm pretty sure I saw, but it looks cool. We'll also link tickets down there for you guys to check out. This has not been a successful segment for me.
Not at all.
Yeah, no, I'm getting over a little something. Maybe we can edit that out later.
This is why you were cut.
Yeah, I guess so.
So you know.
The Summerworks Performance Festival. Summerworks is a collective that puts on different artistic performances, showcases theatrical performances in and around Toronto. They have their performance festival happening from August 7th to 17th at various locations in Toronto. Tickets are going to be linked in our description down below, so go check that out. There's theater, dance, experimental performance art all over downtown Toronto happening during those days. And the last one is a bit of a wild card. I don't know if you guys will like this, but there's in Halton region, there's a town called Acton.
Oh yeah, Acton, yeah.
Ontario. What do you mean? You know Acton?
Yeah.
What do you know Acton?
Or is like, what do you mean?
It's a region 2 of my clients serve.
Oh, okay.
So right. I write a lot of pages for Acton.
Okay, cool. Well, the Acton Leathertown Festival is happening August 10th. Free entry. It's to celebrate all sorts of leather work and the heritage of the neighborhood. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyways, so go check that out. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to another episode of the Three Wise Guys podcast, putting up with me and my coughing. And until next time, one love.
Aces.
Mwah.